I've always wanted to wear suspenders in a movie.
Ah, yes!
Right?
Was that your big childhood fantasy that came alive in the movie?
I've always, like, my happy place is watching old movies. Like, you know, at home, Turner Classic Movies is on 24/7. It's just old movies, no commercials, just, and I love it. What if I told you imaginary friends are real? And when their kids grow up, they're forgotten.
Are any of them scary?
Worse. Desperate.
Hi, I'm Javier Ibarreche, and I'm here with Ryan Reynolds and CAILEY Fleming, the stars of the movie If. How you guys doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Yeah. The first question I had is a bit of a technical question. Ryan, while shooting this movie, you are acting with characters that aren't physically there on set. In any other movie, this might be an obstacle, but being a movie about imaginary friends, did it help?
I mean, you know, imagination is the name of the game in our business, so it's fine. You could put a tennis ball there and I would be able to have a meaningful relationship with it.
Okay.
Like, it's fine. That's the job. But, you know, in this movie, weirdly, we had less of that because we knew what everyone looked like.
Yeah.
We had puppets on set that looked like them. You know, we were interacting with something anyway, so that part was really easy. My biggest focus was CAILEY and, like, really making sure that connection and that relationship worked exactly how it needed to work. So that was amazing. Getting to hang out with her each day was incredible.
Right. Yeah. CAILEY's character, B, is a child in a very adult situation. And your character, her dad, is an adult trying to keep the child spirit alive.
That's exactly right.
And as a director, how do you navigate the line between the child and the grown-up? How much of a child and how much of an adult is there in each character?
That's an amazing question. I think it's actually the whole point of the movie, and I think I learned more and more about it as I was going through this movie, which is, even though we live in this world as actors, directors, it's all about imagination,
right.
You still sometimes wake up and feel like it's a job. And when we were doing this movie, it didn't feel like a job. It felt like we were really delving back into our imaginations. And so I think the answer is, what the movie's trying to get at, is that you never have to choose one or the other. It's not childhood or adulthood, that you can bring that child with you, and all that, you know, love, emotion, hopes, dreams, all that stuff can come with you through everything you do.
How do you, as an actor, being in the middle of those two, how do you navigate the line between the child and the adult in your character?
That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like I really connected with the character, and I feel like a lot of the times I wasn't acting. Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, I did.
You have? Okay, so for any scene where I get emotional, it really just, it was real. It was just me. I mean, I've never felt so connected to a story before. I remember reading the script for the first time and just bawling my eyes out, just because it was like there was like magic in the pages, which sounds corny, but it's true. I don't know.
No, it is.
It was very
Also, you and John are very similar in that way.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, you know, for a lot of people, crying on camera can be a challenge.
Yeah.
And I feel like you two both have that in common, where you're both trying not to cry.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
No, there was a
Wow.
there was a
So, like,
scene there was a scene at the end where I put the thing down and we had to reshoot it because I couldn't stop crying, because I loved the scene so much. But it's easy for me because, you know, the circumstances in the movie just really I
Right.
felt them, so it was no problem.
I cried once in the movie, and all I had to do was look right into.
And then I look at you crying, and it's just it's
my God.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
comes right out.
And speaking of this duality of identities, the idea of you working with Steve Carell is obviously exciting for many reasons. But this time the dynamic is different because he voices a character that you wrote that wasn't exactly physically on set. How much of Blue is Steve? How much of Blue is you?
Oh, I would say almost all of Blue is Steve. I was writing the part for Steve before even asking him if he would do it.
Okay.
And so I was writing all of the traits that I loved most about Steve. He's the funniest person you know, but he's also an amazing friend. He's so kind, he's so sweet, he gives great hugs. And I thought, I'm just gonna write Blue as Steve and really cross my fingers that he would say yes.
Okay. And well, you've talked about how one of the other imaginary friends, Marshmallow Man, is a creation of your daughter.
That's true.
And I was wondering, you brought this character to life. Did you bring to life any of your own childhood fantasies or imaginary friends?
It's funny, I had an imaginary friend when I was growing up. His name was Sam Brace, because I was 8 years old and I wanted braces really badly.
You wanted braces?
Yeah, exactly. I was a weird kid.
Wow.
And then we would reenact movies all together. So I was in action movies with Sam, I was in horror movies with Sam, comedy movies. And I will say, last week someone asked me, do you think maybe Sam directed this movie? And I went, oh my God, maybe that's true. Maybe my imaginary friend directed this whole movie.
John spoke about how one of his daughter's imaginary friends is actually in the movie.
Both of them.
And I was wondering if there are any of your own childhood fantasies present in the movie, or is there anything that reminds you of a childhood fantasy of your own?
I got to dance in the movie, and that's always been my dream ever since I can remember. I've been dancing since I was 1, acting since I was 7, so it's always been my dream to put the two together, and John made my dream come true.
Amazing.
Didn't even know.
I've always wanted to wear suspenders in a movie.
Ah, yes!
Right?
Was that your big childhood fantasy that came alive in the movie?
I've always, like, my happy place is watching old movies. Like, you know, at home, Turner Classic Movies is on 24/7. It's just old movies, no commercials, just, and I love it. So I think since I started doing that, I would always see those guys in their braces, as they call them in the UK, or suspenders, and I would just say, oh, I wonder if I'll ever get to do a movie where I get, oh yeah, no, for real.
Oh my God.
Loved it, yeah. So I got to wear actual
You had the
just,
coolest
yeah, I know,
wardrobe.
that wardrobe was amazing.
Yeah.
That was great.
If you could choose one of the ifs to be your real-life imaginary friend, which one would you choose and why?
It's so hard to decide. I would probably go with Blue only because of the hugs. You know what I mean? Like, he's someone who would give you the biggest hug, whether you're having a good day or a bad day. And I think we all need that every now and again. You know what I mean? We need to be surrounded by love.
Right. Because of the hugs.
Exactly.
I love that, yeah. And also, he's your friend. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
yours, and
Nice to
congratulations
meet you.
on the movie If.
Very nice to
Yeah.
meet you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for your interview.
Thank
and
you.
Congratulations again for If.
Thank you very much for saying that.
Keith!
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Yeah,